Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thought I'd do a different video this time. I thought I'll do a video on the way back home from work, and I just want to briefly talk about my journey collecting, experiencing and having so many vinyl records, and what it means to me and what it used to mean to me and what I sort of look for nowadays. So I got introduced to vinyl records when I was about 7 or 8. I come from a family that's well into their music. There's all different tastes. My mum was a massive Beatles fan, Eagles, ABBA, Motown, Paul Simon, Art Garfunkel, anybody really. And obviously as a kid you get brought up on the music that you're surrounded by. And yeah, there's so many bands to choose from really that I brought up with, and obviously that has a massive positive effect on my life now. So I started collecting vinyl records. I think my first 2 vinyl records were 2 12-inch singles, and that was Prince, When Doves Cry, and Cars, Drive. Who's gonna drive you home? Who's gonna drive you home? So I got them bought by my mum when I went to the dentist. So for being a good boy, I got 2 records bought for me, and I never got a record bought for me after that. No, I'm joking. But yeah, that was the reason why I got them 2 records. And I think at the time I was more into like buying singles and receiving singles as a present than buying an album, because I used to think maybe I don't like all the album, maybe I like a couple and that's it, so I'll just listen to them 2 songs on that one album, that'll be it. I'm better off just buying a single, or get a single for my birthday or for Christmas that I really enjoy, and I can listen to it over and over and over again. So yeah, that was my love for records and buying singles. My first album that I bought was the Rocky IV soundtrack, because I went to see the film 3 times at a cinema in Sheffield called ABC, which is no longer there now. And I went to see it one Saturday, and I went 2 consecutive Saturdays after. So I saw it 3 times. I loved it that much. Still like it today. And the soundtrack, I think the soundtrack was way above its time. The album, I still listen to it now, I think it's a fantastic album. I bought it on CD as well, because when CDs started coming out in the 90s, I stopped buying vinyl as much. I was still buying some, but not as much. I was really into my CDs and the convenience of it really. And obviously they weren't making as many record players or turntables as you call them. They're making more CD players, or a TV with a CD player or DVD player, whatever. Just the convenience of having a CD was so much better and greater. So yeah, so we're on CD. So my vinyl record album, the Rocky IV soundtrack, is not being played as much. But now I don't play any CDs at all. In fact, I don't play anything at the moment because I don't have a record player anymore. I've sold them. So you see in the video I did the other day, just did a quick 1.5 minute video on I've moved all my albums into back into conservatory, and that's where they are at the moment. But I sold my 2 Technics and my CDJs, so I don't own anything I can play my records on, and that's rather sad. However, that's only been for a couple of weeks. Last week I was on holiday, so I've only had a week I'm on the 2nd week now of not being able to play records, but I am in the hunt for one. And I will thank Chris Mann, who sent me a message last night saying about his record player. He has the Audio Technica the USB one. Is it P120 or something? But that looks like a decent one, to be honest. So I think I'm probably edging towards that, because I did watch his video last year on his turntable, or 2 years ago, whatever it was, and I quite like that turntable. Anyway, I'm going off the rails. So yeah, they were my first. That was my first two singles and first album. So now with vinyl records, with my albums and singles, I'm probably touching round about 950. But I do have a lot of singles. All my 12-inch singles are in my garage, because I'm going through them, because there's a lot that I haven't played for a long time. I haven't played for years, and I just think, what's the point of holding on to them? Because I might as well just sell them and put that money towards another album. So I have a lot of 80s singles, which there's quite a few I'm going to keep. I have a lot of hip hop, I have a lot of dance, because I used to mix. I have a lot of garage, I have a lot of house stuff, and I'm just never going to play them again, because it's not my kind of music. I don't mind a bit of house, but garage is not my kind of music. But it was just easy to mix. I used to think I actually wouldn't even listen to this if I was like on my own or something. It was just good to mix, and I don't have the time to mix anymore. That's why I sold the Technics. So yeah, I'm sticking to albums, and I am also going through my albums, ones that I don't really listen to, and I'm just going to probably purge a few and just sell them, and just literally stick with albums that I am absolutely keen on playing over and over again. So yeah, I think I have, and I could be wrong. Somebody's going to say in the comments, "Nah, you're missing one, or you're missing something." I have all the Beatles albums that were released, and then you've got the second party ones, and then you've got the ones that they've combined together, and then you've got this and that. I think all together I've got 44 individual Beatles albums, although they only released 13. So you can see how many different ones they put together and stuff. So when I go on eBay, when I go on to Vinted and other platforms that sell records, I don't seem to find anything that I don't have. So I'm thinking, I've got everything that's been released, unless Joe Bloggs Down the Road puts one together and calls it the Beatles studio album Mark 6. I don't know, but I've got everything that the Beatles have released. However, I don't have all the box sets, I don't have all the things like that, so I don't actually have every physical thing they brought out on vinyl records. It's just like the Rubber Soul album's coming out, isn't it? It's October, and I think that's touching around about £200. Now that's my favourite album, Rubber Soul, so I do believe I need to get that. And I think that's a studio, is it a studio mix or something? The album itself, studio mix and other stuff. So that will be something I want to purchase. Definitely Rubber Soul. Yeah, going back to being a kid. Great times. I used to sit in the back of the living room. My mum would be watching TV, and I'd be sat or laying on a carpet next to the hi-fi system, where you had like a compartment at the bottom where you would put maybe, or you would allow about 20 albums to stand up straight, stand up right, and then you'd have like the, what do you call it, graphic equalizer, and then you'd have the CD, the tape player, and then the record player on top. and then you'd have like an audio jack, put your headphones in, and I'd sit there for a good hour or two just listening to different albums and different music of what my mum had. And that's where I used to keep my first 2 singles. And God, that was my introduction and love for music, and just having the physical vinyl record in my hand. Oh, I could cry sometimes I think about it, just that feeling. And when you look on YouTube and you see all different people, all different vinyl record collectors, lovers, all the different vinyl community channels, they've probably all gone through the same that I've gone through. That love for music and that love for the albums and your favourite band, and wanting to get every single album, wanting to get a new album coming out. It's just like, there's nothing like it. You can have as many CDs and tapes, but there's nothing like having a vinyl record, having that wax in your hand and putting it on a turntable and listening to the best sound. For me, the best sound, if you've got a decent record player and decent speakers, it's just the best sound ever. It really is. You can't fault that. And that's what I used to get every Sunday night at my mum's hi-fi system. There's nothing like it. And for me, it's the best hobby you can have. But I'm being biased. I'm a vinyl records fanatic, Beatles fanatic, Paul McCartney fanatic. That's me. And that was my Sunday night. Before I went to bed, I'd listen to an album or two and try and push out a third album, hoping that my mum doesn't know that I'd just put another record on. Sorry about turning this. I've got to look where I'm going here. I don't want to crash. So yeah, so that was my childhood really, and I wouldn't change my childhood for anything. I had a good childhood, and I was introduced from my mum into music, who's still a massive music lover. She introduced me to some fantastic bands, and still today, I mean, Fleetwood Mac, seen them live, got brought up on them, seen rumours of Fleetwood Mac, and they're just as good. Seen Paul McCartney live, best concert I've ever been to. Just good to never saw the Beatles, but I was born too late for that. So yeah, I just want to quickly just tell you a bit of the story about myself, and why do I have a channel, and why do I like to show my albums and my love for music. It's hard to juggle a full-time job and then obviously be a parent and be a partner and have a full-time, well, try and make your YouTube into a full-time job. I'd love to do that, but at the moment it's just a channel that shows videos of me talking and probably boring people to death about my music and different albums and stuff, and that's who I am. This is what you get. So yeah, that's a brief look into my childhood. So I would like to thank everyone who's watched this video, who's put up with it for nearly 15 minutes, and I hope to bring more content out pretty soon instead of doing shorts all the time, because I have a lot of love and passion for music and a lot of love and passion for records. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all the subscribers that subscribe and still stick with me and listen and watch my videos. It means the world to me. Otherwise I'd just pack it in and just listen to music and not just talk to myself. But yeah, but thank you guys. Take care, look after yourselves, and enjoy the last few days of summer, or the last month of summer. Take care. See you soon.